Hey teachers, this is a sample handwriting lesson that you can use in your classroom with your students. If you'd like to get all the worksheets and access to all 26 lowercase video lessons, just click the link in the description box below to check it out. I hope you enjoy the lesson. Hi there friends, we're going to learn another letter today. It's letter F. Letter F touches the skyline and sits on the grass line. It also crosses at the fence line. Letter F is a tall letter, so it takes up all the space on the top lines. Now let's take a look at where letter F starts. Oh, that's interesting. It starts just below the skyline. We call letter F a crazy curve letter because it doesn't have the same starting point as any other lowercase letter. When we make letter F, we start just below the skyline, then we curve up to bump it. We go down through the fence line, all the way down to the grass line. Then we actually pick up our pencil and jump up to the fence line, and then we make a line straight across to cross it. All right, now we're ready to practice writing letter F in the air. I want you to put your finger on the star and you're gonna trace as we go. Ready? Curve up to the skyline and then straight down. Pick up your finger and then cross in the middle. What a great job! Let's try that one more time. Get your finger ready. Point to the star, curve up, now straight down. Pick up your finger, cross in the middle. That's wonderful. Now we're ready to practice writing this letter on our paper. And this is one of the few letters that we do actually pick up our pencil, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Let's get started. We're ready to start practicing writing letter F. We see the star right here. It's just below the skyline, and it's really unusual. There's no other tall letter that starts below the skyline like this. It's kind of like circle C and how it starts just below the fence line. But we're going to start here at the star. We're going to curve up and bump the skyline, and then we're going to go straight down to the grass line. Then we lift up and we cross at the fence line. Grab your marker, your crayon, and we're going to trace it. Ready? Here we go. Start at the star, curve up and bump the skyline, go around and down to the grass line, then pick up, then we're going to cross at the fence line. Excellent job. Okay, let's practice writing letter F. Ready? We're going to start at the star, curve up and bump the skyline, and then down to the grass line, lift up and cross. Letter F is a tall letter, and it's also a letter where we have to lift up our pencil. Most letters, we keep our pencil on the paper the whole time. Curve up and bump the skyline, down to the grass line, and then cross. If I get ahead of you or you need to catch up, you can just pause the video and then push play when you're ready to start writing again. Curve up and bump the skyline, down to the grass line, and then cross. One more on this line. Start at the star, curve up and bump the skyline, and then down to the grass line, lift up and cross at the fence line. Now we're on to line 2. Curve up and bump, and then straight down, lift up and cross. Now we've got one on our own. Start at the star, curve up and bump, then straight down, lift up and cross. Great job. Here's another one. And cross. So we call letter F a crazy curve letter just because it has a curve and it has a crazy start. Since no other lowercase letter starts below the skyline like letter F, it makes it a little bit crazy. Go up and bump the skyline, then straight down to the grass line and cross. All right, let's do another one right here. We've got 2 in a row that we're going to trace right here. And then we're going to write 2 in a row on our own. So start at the star, curve up and bump the fence, and then straight down. I got off a little bit, but that's okay. If you do, you just keep going. And then here's our next one. Straight down, lift up, and cross. Excellent job. Now we're ready to practice writing letter F in some words, and we have all the letters to write these words. We've learned so many letters now. This word is fun. He's having fun jumping the rope. All the way down to the grass line and then cross. Now for letter U, we're going to come down from the fence line and curve to sit on the grass, then go up and trace back down. Letter N, slip down, slide up, over, and down. This word is fluff. That is a fluffy sheep, so we're going to write fluff. Ready? F curves up, bumps the skyline down to the grass line and cross. Letter L is just drop from the top. And U, curve to sit on the grass, then up to the fence and down. And then 2 more Fs. Ready? Curve and down and cross. Start at the star, curve up, down, and cross. Great job. This word is 4, like the number 4. So we're going to make our F, curve up and then down and cross. O is a circle C letter, circle around and close the circle. We've got another U, curve down, up and then down. And R, slip down, slide up, and then curve. This word is full. A full glass of lemonade sounds pretty good. F curves up and bumps the skyline, then straight down and cross. U curves down to the grass line, goes up, and then back down. And then 2 L's straight down. Can you believe it? That was lesson 1 when we learned letter L. This word is flip. Looks like they're flipping some pancakes. Start at the star, curve up and bump the skyline and then down and cross. L is straight down. I, drop from the top and then dot. P, slip down, slide up and around and close the circle. This is fin. This is a shark's fin sticking up out of the water. I would not want to see that if I was in the ocean. Okay, and then cross that letter F. I goes down and then we dot. And N slips down, slides up, over, and down. Now we've got the word fish. We're going to make that F, curve up and bump, and then straight down, lift and cross. I goes down and lifts and dots. And then S, we start just below the fence line, curve up and bump, and then swish around to sit on the grass line and then lift. H is slip down, slide up, over, and down. What a fabulous job you did. Now we're going to take a look at the search box and see if we can find every letter F that's written correctly. Let's take a look at this first one. It does start just below the skyline, curves up and touches it, and goes all the way down and crosses at the fence line. So that one is correct. How about this one? It looks like a letter F, but what's wrong with it? Yes, it's not touching the skyline. It's too short. How about this one? Do you think it looks right? It's touching the skyline, sitting on the grass line, crossing in the middle, and it has a little hook at the top. That one's great too. Let's look at this one. Do you think it looks right? This one doesn't come down quite as far, but you know what? It looks okay. It does start below the skyline and it looks like it's formed correctly. It just doesn't have as much of a hook on the top as we usually see, but that's okay. Every F you write will not look exactly the same. How about this one? Does it look right? Curves up and then down and crosses in the middle. Wow, that one's correct also. How about this one? What do you notice? Oh, it does start below the skyline, but it curves the wrong way. So it's backwards. It's flipped from how it's supposed to be. So that one looks funny and it is not a letter F. How about this one? They started below the skyline, but they didn't curve up. They went straight up and then over and then down. So that one does not look like a correct letter F. How about this one? They did start below the skyline. They just made this hook so big and then they crossed it so big. It's going to be way bigger than any of the other letters, so it just looks really big and a little messy. How about this one? It does start below the skyline, but it doesn't curve to get up there. It just goes straight up at an angle and then it comes down. So it kind of looks like a check mark. So it looks a little funny. So we only had 4 letter Fs that were written correctly. You did a great job practicing writing letter F with me and then searching for letter F written correctly. You are ready to do some practice with letter F on your own, and then I will see you in lesson 19.